listening to the John Doe Radio Show.
entertainment with drugs.
Why do we talk about marijuana? It's the single biggest drug that is a source of some confusion.
This is really about educating the public about the fact that marijuana is a less harmful drug.
Marijuana, that's to get high.
You can be as high as you want.
Prohibition of marijuana over the last 71 years has not actually prevented you from using marijuana.
You feel weak.
Closer to winning the war on drugs.
I do believe there have been some successes.
We will never arrest our way out of this problem.
Welcome to the John Doe Radio Show. I'm your host, John Doe, here with my good friend Bike and Chad.
How's it going?
Good morning.
Good friends, I should say. Thank you guys for hanging out with us. The studio, well, not the studio audience. I went into Bob Barker there. Come on down. That was horrible.
That was horrible.
That was horrible. Jesus criminy. All right, today's going to be a day full of opinion, news, and...
Loudmouth, wise-ass comments.
Yes, probably. 100% so. If you have a problem with that, there is the door. No, I'm kidding.
The little kid show is down the dial. Just turn the station.
I'm a little bit off my rocker today. As if you hadn't noticed. Is that okay with you?
You don't need my permission.
I don't need your permission. Play into this. Just do it. All right. Thank you guys for being here, Chad.
No problem.
Well, that's not exactly what I was thinking of saying. I was thanking the audience and kind of thanking you at the same time. And then I was going to go, Chad, how you doing?
Oh, I'm doing pretty good.
But I did one of my pause things there. Totally got ridiculous with it. I'm going to scoot this camera back there. Thank you to iCannabis Radio. iCannabisradio.com is where you can check out the video of the John Doe Radio Show if you were just listening to the audio podcast there at the beginning, then you didn't get to see my awesome dancing. It was so incredible. For some strange reason over here, Bike didn't want to dance. I have no clue why.
I'm gonna do weird.
He would not participate with us in the dance. Why?
I'm doing a new weird thing with coffee. I'm not having coffee until about 9:30 in the morning now.
Why? I should give you enough time to
I get up real early. I get up at like 4:30 or 5.
I can't believe it. Why?
This morning I had some English breakfast tea, and it did me well. And I don't know. I'm taking sugar out of my diet as much as possible.
So you
I had a cup of coffee, and I didn't have any sugar in it, and it was fine.
Did you have something? Do you have anything? What's that thing then?
That was my sugar. As much as possible.
As much as possible.
I drank a lot of coffee, and taking all that sugar out is gonna.
All right, that probably has some sugar in it.
That probably did, yeah.
Exactly.
But the coffee I had this morning
Wake up.
didn't. That's not. I mean, I had actual coffee. That's just a. Anyways, go ahead.
So, whatever you need to do to wake up, that's perfectly good with me. I had some Kind Love shirt you got there on.
I love this Kind Love shirt.
Your Colorado
It's
Kind Love
blue.
shirt. It's a good shirt, and it's nice. Looks good on you. Blue. This girl in high school. Well, these two girls in high school one time.
One time in high school.
Yeah, this one time in high school, like my freshman year. These two girls, they told me that I look good in blue. So like
How much blue did you
blue
have
from then on?
Oh.
I had a blue shirt on, and
It was like everything blue the next day.
well, dude, our school was like blue and silver, so I mean, I was like, wearing, I think possibly like my baseball shirt and maybe some blue shorts or something, like some blue gym shorts there. Like, I don't know, that story just randomly came up because your shirt's blue. That's why.
It's cool blue.
The people not watching at iCannabisradio.com, where you can check us out Monday through Friday, 11 to 1.
They could.
Tomorrow we have Alex from Element 420 on the show. Alex from Element 420 is going to talk with us, and
Bubba Jojo?
what's his name?
Max?
Max and
Max.
his two names.
Americo.
Oh, yes. Same person.
You know exactly what I'm talking about, trying to hang me out to dry here.
Just going off
Americo,
the Bubba Go-Go.
and Alex from Element 420 and Evo Labs. They're going to be here to talk to you guys about the awesome CO2 oil wax that we've been talking about here on the John Doe Radio Show. It's Oh, I can't explain to you. I love it. I really do. I love it. It's such a clean, awesome high. Almost every strain I've tried is awesome.
I'm high on it right now. Chad is too.
Yep. Pretty good.
Tim's high on life.
No, I'm high on it a little bit too. I was trying to find a paper here. You guys are wildly punch all the time. Are we going to invite that, it's a lady in on the show? That could be any lady.
Who's that?
I don't want to mention her name right now exactly quickly.
Okay, cool. Don't, because apparently she's moving to California in a few days.
Oh, she is?
According to her Facebook. Yeah.
Never mind then.
Yeah. I don't know how she thought that was going to work out.
I know.
Thanks for...
That's why we I went and interviewed you before we started the show. So we got to do interviews here.
Sure, yeah.
For those reasons, exactly.
Secret interview.
I'm gonna sneak some BHO in Brittany's hash here next time she comes. I swear to goodness. You know what I'm saying, dude?
Nice try.
Bike knows what I'm saying.
Nice try.
Was that an attempt on her part?
It was a nice try. She could have been worse. Definitely. I mean, it was a nice attempt.
I am a talented feller. Somebody was telling me the other day, is like, man, you've had some decent co-hosts on the show. Some good co-hosts on the show. Some good people. And I was like, yeah, some good talented people.
And
I just said talented people.
Minus the good.
I just good talented people. Talented good people. Good talented people. Not talented good people. No, I'm kidding.
Good at being talented.
Cracking myself up this morning. I gotta laugh this morning. So much to think about. All right.
What are you gonna think about?
I don't even want to get into it. It's personal shiz.
Oh.
We try not to talk about personal stuff so much here on the JDR. Oh, but we will get to personal. Here, let me finish up with this. Element 420 and Evo Lab. Alex, thank you very much for your sponsorship, and thank you very much for putting this fantastic product out there. 82 South Federal Boulevard in Denver. 82 South Federal Boulevard in Denver. 303-945-4774. 303-945-4774. We got the Northern Lights extract and the
Power Kush.
It wasn't the Power Kush. It was the Master Kush.
Yeah, Master Kush.
It was the Master Kush, dude.
Power Kush.
Well, you said that yesterday. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I had some Power Kush.
I had no clue. Oh, you did? Yeah. Well, I did not have Power Kush. I had a... That's not what
It's good.
That's what a wide selection they have there. Quite a few to choose from. 10, 15 oils one time. Going off the few times that I've looked on their site, it's been just a huge selection. And I've just became to trust them. Oh, my favorite bet is on.
Could you just loop this? Can you loop this the whole show?
I probably could, but at some point it gets annoying at some point.
I know it would definitely play into how the show goes.
Yeah, I'm hyphy on the beat, yeah. Oh, sorry. Congratulations to Chad and his wife. They are having an anniversary today.
It changed your anniversary?
Yep.
Happy anniversary.
Years. Thanks.
Damn.
8 years.
Who stays together for 8 years, man? Nobody anymore.
That's love.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool. I wasn't saying that as a diss or anything. I'm just saying for real. That's like, when do you hear that?
Yeah, it's not very often these days.
That's some old-fashioned love.
That a cool family?
Yeah. All 4 kids are both ours, too, after marriage and everything.
I've learned the new meaning of mornings while staying with Chad.
All 5 kids.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah. Yeah, you nailed it there. Jen's nodding her head right now at home. Oh.
Yeah, she's on the chat room.
Congratulations. That makes me very happy. I enjoy these type of things.
Spring wedding.
Almost more than I enjoy myself, because really, I do a horrible job at things like these things.
Congratulating someone for...
No, the whole relationship thing and making somebody happy and being responsible. That thing just doesn't necessarily suit me. The whole like outfit.
It sneaks up on you. Watch out.
I'm not saying that I don't want
It's
it.
coming.
All right, it has snuck up on me.
You're
That's why
a
I'm
young
stressed out.
man, Tim. You have plenty of
I'm
time.
stressed
Plenty
out
more
today.
time to F up.
Oh my goodness, man. I can't remember if I'm 29.
I mean, learn.
I think I'm 29 this year. Am I 29 or am I 30 this year?
Pretty sure you're 29.
I was
Right?
born in
You're
83.
just- yeah, I'm about to turn 30 in May.
Oh,
so.
crap.
May what?
That means
May 10th.
It's
May,
my
June,
brother's
July,
birthday.
August,
Whoa.
September, October. 5 months. You're 5 months older than me?
Yep.
That means that I'll be 30 probably this year, too. That's how great my math is. I love doing math. It's fantastic.
There's a pretty crazy movie that came out. Remember about the hotel or something? Everybody got drawn there, and all their birthdays were May 10th. And they all got killed.
Really?
Yeah,
No.
something like that.
What
They all-
movie was that? There's tons of movies about it. There's like a prequel to the Bates Motel show on now. So that's what I thought of when you said that.
Nah, I can't remember what it's called exactly. Pretty nuts though.
Thank you.
No problem.
All right.
Giggity.
He did it again. All right. Also, big thanks to Warren Edson, Edson Mayton and Matts. Warren Edson, Edson Mayton and Matts, criminal defense and medical marijuana business consultation. If you need any sort of criminal. Why can I not say certain words some days? I'm like trying to stumble over myself, say things like a million miles an hour. Criminal defense and medical marijuana business consultation. Enunciate your words and you'll get it out. 2130 South Bel Air Street. Home of iCannabis Radio. The John Doe Radio Show. Fantastic other shows. You can go to iCannabisRadio.com and check out the schedule of shows. Tonight, I think Sexpot Radio is on. Not I think. I mean, it's Sexpot Radio night.
I see that it is on.
Sexpot Radio! We should think of a jingle right now for Sexpot Radio.
I think you just did.
Sexpot Radio, Sexpot Radio, Sexpot Radio!
I thought you were gonna go with the Nightmare Before Christmas.
I know, it did
rhythm.
kind of sound like
Yeah.
that too. I did have the jack, like, here comes Halloween, here comes Halloween, here comes Sexpot Radio night. I don't feel like being too serious today if you haven't made the
Where?
perfect, if you haven't made the connection there.
It's too
I
cold.
think it's because the pinball machine pissed me off before the show. I went in there like 10 minutes before the show. I'm like, here, I'll play some pinball.
I was laughing at you getting all pissed off at a
And I'm like,
machine.
it goes right through. I think it's off kilter, man. I really do, because it goes right through.
Get it kiltered.
It goes through the 5-hole
Yeah.
every time. It's
Call
5-hole.
Call the kilter smith in here. To kilter
Shut
that
the-
thing on.
Actually, what is that? What does Warren call that? Like, what's the guy that fixes pinball machines called? He's got like a special name.
Kilter smith.
A pinballist.
I know. Yeah. Anyways.
Somebody should go ask
Pinball,
Warren.
pinball.
Pinballer.
Pinballer?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think there's a special name for someone that fixes pinball machines.
Nerd.
That would be true, probably. Nerd. All right. Warren Edson, Edson Mayton and Matts. Edson's very fantastic people. Georgia does a show on Monday night. Georgia Edson. Make sure you check that out. I wasn't able to make it down last night. I was a little bit bummed. But, man, life's busy sometimes. I feel bad.
What did you end up doing?
What did I end up doing?
Yeah.
Private stuff. Private stuff. I don't have a car necessarily either, so it's hard to necessarily drive all around. I planned a show last night. That's what I ended up mostly doing.
You playing today's
Planned
show?
this week's shows.
Oh, okay.
Finished off the judging.
Oh yeah, I had to finish off judging for the Rooster magazine.
Yes, I finished
THC
my last
Classic.
piece last night.
Hold on, we're quick. Warren Edson, 303-831-8188. 303-831-8188. I don't think I got the phone number in there anywhere. You finished judging last night. What'd you judge last night?
I have no idea. It was
I have no idea. It's
It
too
was
high.
it was the biggest one. I saved the biggest one for last, and it looked like it was going to be not so fun. Turned out to be pretty tasty.
What did it taste like? Like just
Like a Toll House Square sort of thing.
Toll House Square. I have no clue
Sort
what
of
that tastes
thing.
like. I don't know when the last time I had a Toll
Chad's
House.
nodding his head. He knows what it is.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
not
like-
making it up.
Just because I know you're not making it up, but
Good.
Just because Chad nods his head.
Yeah, I've got them before.
It was pretty good.
Nestle Toll House.
Was it
Square.
effective?
I got a great night's sleep.
Sweet.
That's about what it comes down to at this point.
You got a good night's sleep. That's good.
Yeah.
Fantastic. There was a clear favorite in the concentrate category for sure.
Really?
I forgot the list at home.
We didn't really talk at all about your concentrates besides.
We talked a little bit about them.
Very,
Some of them were unpurged. Some of them looked a little bit.
Did you repurge the
Runny.
stuff that was.
No.
You just smoked it?
Yep.
Feeding
That's how
your.
you're supposed to judge it.
It's asking a lot.
There was only a few that were like horribly bad that I would be like, yeah.
What
There was
consistency
like five
were
different.
they?
There was like 5 different categories on like how you view when you look at it, like the appearance. It was like, really like, like,
Yeah.
indifferent, don't like, really don't like. I can't remember
Yeah.
what the exact ones were.
Dislike. Yeah.
Anyway, there was that many of them to put, and there was like very few I put. There was a few I put indifferent on, but like only like 2 or 3 that were lower than indifferent. It was like, I wouldn't pick this up. One of them was horrible, man. One of them was like mixed with like BHO and water hash. I don't even know, dude.
Did you,
It was disgusting, dude, and it left this ridiculously crappy taste in my mouth. And all of it didn't melt off.
Was that this morning?
What the fuck? No.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This morning was just some yellow wax. Dude, and I don't know, the ones that you could tell usually by the look of it how harsh it's gonna be, like usually butane action, and a few of them looked a little slightly.
use your eyes before you use your lung.
They were a little bit unpurged. A few of them, definitely. So, other than that, there was one. I wish I'd have brought the list here. I forgot the dang list. I was gonna bring it.
Dang.
And one of them did stick out pretty nice. It was the one that tasted sort of like flow tangerine-ish. It was awesome. Awesome high.
It's a winning flavor.
Freaking incredible. I saw Rare Dankness introduced a new seed today. It's like Tangerine OG or something like that.
What?
Yeah. I don't think Derek has me. I don't think I'm on Derek.
You blocked?
I can't see Derek's post anymore, but I think he like commented on it. And then Scott commented back to him, yeah, that's why I didn't name it Tanges.
Here's the circle, and here's you.
It doesn't have Tange in it, though.
Does it have NYCD in it?
Yeah. No.
NYCD is wicked.
You have
wicked
to look
tangy
on Scott's Rare Dankness
seed.
the Rare Dankness seed page.
Here I go.
It's up there. But dude, Rare Dankness is getting ridiculous trichomage.
I saw the
Trichomage per
picture.
square inch is just like
I saw the picture. It's
trichomes on
ridiculous.
trichomes on trichomes. Which one was that? Was it the Scott's OG one?
Yes, it was. I like the picture. It was ridiculous.
Yeah! That's what I'm talking about, dude. I've regained my love for flowers a little bit. Not a little bit, quite a bit, actually.
What you're thinking is
I have weed see, I can say I have weed in my pocket again.
Tim Bob,
I'm using a plastic bag though. Oh, that's embarrassing.
Tangerine Kush.
Is it called Tangerine Kush?
It's called Tangerine Kush.
What's the cross?
Oh, it says pre-98 Bubba with ox beans.
Yeah, that's the second one I wasn't too familiar with. The ox. It's crazy. It's awesome though.
Oh, you mean you are familiar with pre-98 Bubba?
Yes,
You've heard of that before?
Yeah, of course. Pre-98 Bubba is a pretty popular strain. Been around for a little while.
A lot of people recently have been telling me. When I say a lot, I mean
Popular.
two people recently have told me pre-98 Bubba. If you let it go a little bit longer, it becomes a high CBD plant.
Yeah, it can get pretty high in CBD.
Oh, like you knew that?
I did know that. I also knew that, just like the Master Kush. Has tested high before. Didn't you when you go to? Didn't when we picked up when the Earl was picked up, or not the Earl? Why am I saying Earl? The CO2 was picked up from God, talk. CO2 was picked up from Element 420. Didn't they say like the Master Kush was high in CBD?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they said it was high in CBD. It's actually a pretty interesting thing to search out a good CBD strain and good CBD extract.
How interesting is it?
Few places, because there's a big difference in
Talk to
smoking
me.
that and smoking other strains. I mean, it's really good pain reliever. It's a nice relaxation. It's like taking a couple ibuprofen. A small muscle relaxer, depending on how much you smoke. I'm sure
If you had a pure CBD strain or very little THC, it would be like an ibuprofen. But if it's a 1-to-1, whoa, it's like chugging a bottle of Robitussin.
What?
It's narcotic in a way when it's 1-to-1 ratio.
No, I mean if you smoke, a bunch of it, and it'll knock you on your ass. And certain strains, are pretty knock you around your ass. But what I'm talking about is specifically the influence of where CBD is going. It's a fantastic for me. I mean, I feel great after smoking a CBD strain.
Yes.
Not necessarily so much high, which is like everybody says, but I still feel high. You still get high off an extract, even if it's high in CBD, low in THC. In my opinion, I still feel a certain medication from it.
It's different.
I'm in tune with my body, whatever that means.
It means you touch yourself a lot.
I should know better than to throw you up a lob like that.
That's a meatball for sure.
I'm turning the other way. It's a meatball. Meatball. We had spaghetti last night.
Don't remember
It was
asking.
awesome. You threw me a meatball, I threw you some spaghetti.
Yes.
We've also been watching the Wild Boys season. I mentioned that yesterday.
Yeah.
Those guys are jackasses. I don't know why it keeps popping in my head. Maybe because that guy's laugh, Pontius's laugh, cracks me up.
Oh yeah, he's funny.
I
Seems
think of
nothing
him. I think of him laughing to my jokes.
Yeah, seems like nothing can bother that guy. Almost, it's just crazy. He could do the dumbest thing and get hurt and just be like, it's crazy.
Oh, that laugh was awesome. You should do it again.
Yeah,
He did it again.
had to warm up for that, man.
Yo, what's the update since today's Glass Tuesday? Next week, I'm pretty sure. I thought we were gonna have K-Sass this week, but turns out she's teaching a class.
What?
Christina Sasser's teaching a class over at Glasscraft this week, which is awesome. We'll end up taking one of her classes sometime.
Where's Glasscraft?
Up in Golden.
Golden. Up in that like a warehouse facility around back.
Yeah,
I think
you've
I've
obviously been
I
there.
think I've been there.
Why would you have been there? You know a lot. You know more about glass than you're like. I don't know about glass. I don't know this, and like you know a decent amount.
I just know a little bit about a lot of things. It makes it easy to talk to everyone.
Ah, so you're one of those guys. Huh?
Yeah, I play that well. I wear a lot of different hats.
What hap-
Unlike you, who wears the same hat every day.
Shut up.
You do.
So what?
Just turn it sideways.
I don't have my other hats with
Put
me.
it on front or something to throw people
No,
off.
it only looks good backwards on here.
I don't know.
Shut up, bike.
You look pretty good with it on forward.
Shut up.
It makes you look younger, too.
I need to get a new hat. Yes, I know this.
I wasn't saying it. You had just
I
put
have
it on a
other-
different direction.
Doesn't look good in another direction. We already showed that the other day.
No, it was you who said that.
God,
I
my
need a
nose
new,
is bothering me. I think I touched Earl and then I rubbed my nose.
Need to get a new Adam Hand JDR hat.
That's true, too.
I wore the crap out of mine.
It is very true. Hey, Adam, please bring some hats. Bring like 5-10 hats for John Doe Radio to Denver. That would be awesome, dude. Like, we'll pick him up when you get here. He's coming for 420.
He's going to be at the Grow Right tent. Grow Right booth at the Cup.
Grow right?
Grow Right.
Is that what you saw him
Pretty
post
sure,
up?
No, I'm pretty sure that's what he said.
I don't know. I'll talk to him before he ends up getting here. So I was talking about glass. Next week,
I'm
Christina's...
sorry.
Shush!
Oil Slick is who he's going to be with. That's someone else. I'm thinking.
All right.
The Oil Slick. K-Sass was blah, blah, blah. Go ahead.
I'm going to turn off your mic in a minute. Okay.
Georgia said you're not allowed to do that.
Is Georgia here? No.
It's her microphone, dude.
It's my finger pushing the button. Just tell you what. If you hop over here and push the right button to turn your mic back on when I push it off, you can be on.
Don't make me throw you out of the way and press every button.
I mean, he just throws off the air probably. No, I'm kidding. All right, try to focus here. Jesus Christ. K-Sass is going to be here next week. Serious topic here. Damn it. She's awesome. So she'll be at Glasscraft this week. Wouldn't be able to make it down here. Next Tuesday, she'll be hopefully here or on the phone. Hopefully here because she brings in awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. What did you...
Functional?
Oh, dude, my... Go ahead and talk.
Sneeze into your shirt or something. That's gross.
I did sneeze into my shirt.
No, like this. Like go like this and sneeze onto your chest so I don't have to deal with it.
You're not going to have to deal with it. It's like into my shirt.
You have a hairy chest?
Just talk about something.
I'll ask you a question. Chad, does Tim have a hairy chest?
I don't
How
know.
the fuck would Chad know? I'm sure I don't even want to know.
I do, but I'm just saying if you got a hairy chest,
All right, you guys take over the show.
sneeze right down into it.
I'm done for today.
We don't have to deal with
And it
it.
just collects it all for later. Gross.
It'll teach you to carry a snot rag around.
Nobody wants to hear about that, yo.
No one wants to breathe your snot.
Well, too bad. No one wants to breathe your
Can you just
smell of cigarette smoke when you come back
I
in
don't
the
blow
room.
hits in this room. You just blow a huge sneeze in the room.
Oh, yeah, into my arm.
No,
I didn't lift up my shirt and put my shirt over my head
You
like,
just went like this. You went.
like I'm freaking cornholio over here, dude. You try to... Shut up. You're done. I'm done talking to you. Christina Sass are going to be here next week. Your mic ain't even on now. You can't even hear you laughing. At least we're getting through time because it's a slow news day. God. All right, fine. Are you going to behave?
No.
Next
As long as you sneeze into your shirt, we're good.
Next Tuesday, she's going to be here hanging out. Hopefully. I'm going to try and convince her to come down here and hang out. But with this kind of action going on in this studio, I don't know.
I'll behave. Unless she ain't sneezing.
My nose is really bugging me right now, though.
Spring again.
I think it's weed.
I get allergic to weed sometimes, too. I know what you're saying.
And then Friday, Mason Tvert will be here. Mason Tvert, the director of SAFER and Marijuana Policy Project he is with, not the director of. And we'll talk to him about his position there, because I really don't know much about it.
Is this a new position?
New since I've found out.
New
I don't know how long he's had it. Like, I just get emails now from MPP and Mason Tvert. It's like names on them. I should probably look what exactly his I don't have my mail pulled up. Let me check, actually. I think I actually have it on my phone. I do.
He's in Canada now?
He's not in Canada right now. He was in Canada this past weekend.
Oh, he's just visiting.
He was doing the Canadian conference. Some conference there. We'll talk to him about that, too. Mason Tvert, Director of Communications
Beasters
for
across
MPP.
Canada.
Ooh! Mason's now the Director of Communications for the MPP. That's what I'm talking about. He's my buddy. That's pretty cool. Congratulations, Mason. We'll talk to him about that on Friday. And anything else he's wanting to talk about. If you would like to hear us talk about anything with Mason, please give me a holler.
Just him.
Did I even put out that the show was on today? No, I forgot to put out the link today that we were live. If you'd email me, johndoe at johndoeradio.com. I got to get Bike set up with the John Doe Radio email.
Yeah.
You can message him on Facebook if you got any questions or anything for him.
Sure.
If you got any questions for Mason, line them up.
Don't ask me questions like, what does Tim's hat smell like? I'm not going to smell his hat.
My hat smells fine, dude. Doesn't smell bad at all.
Wasn't
Keep my
insinuating it
shiz
smells
clean.
bad, dude.
Jesus criminy. Today on news, if we ever get to it, marijuana training program approved in marijuana training. You're throwing me off today.
I'll be quiet until you say something that I
It was a
can't
fantastic
be
mood
quiet
until I got to deal with your ass.
about. I bet you won't sneeze the rest of the show.
I probably will. I'm gonna sneeze on you, all over you.
I'm going to bring a spray bottle in with a mister, and so you can see what happens.
The next time I see you, Farmer Blow, I'm gonna definitely say something. I'm
Say
gonna be like,
it.
dude. Go wash your hands, man.
There's no hands involved in a farmer
plug one nose.
blow.
And who knows if you like blow it
And?
all over yourself or anything like that?
I
Dude,
know.
That's disgusting. All the down.
Dude, I'm a pro, dude.
All right, that's enough
I've
of
been
that.
around.
I can't take this show
I
into the
can
gutter, but
huck-
I refuse to.
I can huck a
Stop
loogie.
It. Stop it.
I can throw a snot rod.
Stop it. A marijuana proposal aimed at training. We got to cover this right away. I'm going to get to a few other funny things, but I'm trying to get this show back in the range of being respected. God. That was funny.
Is it?
I don't want to. Dude, we're talking about marijuana here, not about snot, not about driving Tim crazy.
Snotawana. Not about driving too
Did you hear about it? This is serious talk here, though.
I'm listening.
No, actually, let's go back to the glass.
Oh, yeah.
Quit throwing me off. I'm trying to keep to my rundown here. Glass. All right. We covered that we'd have Glass Tuesdays coming up here more and more. Your glass. Now, can I handle you to talk about something?
Can you
not
handle
have to do with
me?
snot or bodily functions or anything like that?
What is it about?
What about your new glass? What about your ham?
Ham's on hold right now.
It's on hold?
Ham's busy, man.
Ham is?
Yeah, going through the protocol. It's getting done, all right?
So you've requested it, and the situation is, dude is
It's
got a lot of work?
Pending. The situation is pending.
All right. Because of you or ham?
And I'd be in Oregon.
What?
If I was Ham, I'd be in Oregon.
Because of you
And I
or
wouldn't-
ham?
Oh,
I'm
because
saying-
of me or Ham?
Yeah. Are you
Oh,
you
no,
waiting?
no. I'm just... No.
Or is he busy?
He's busy. I'm in a holding pattern.
I would expect he'd be busy. He's a very busy man.
I can't even imagine.
I need an allergy pill so bad. Yeah, cool. I'd like to get some new glass. I'd like to make some new glass. I'd like to get into a new shop. Anybody's got a shop in Denver, the lathe, needs a new person to work.
Didn't you just start a radio show?
Yeah, but I could do evenings.
Oh, okay.
Glass quartz rig from Joel Halen. That's something to mention on Glass Tuesday. I saw that the other day. Fully quartz rig. And then I think he sandblasted it. It looks sweet, but damn, if you were to like smack that against anything, it'd be like, shatter.
Breaks easier than glass?
Way easier than glass.
What the...
I saw an argument today. What you didn't know that?
I didn't.
I've said that before here on the show.
Maybe I wasn't paying attention, but
I dropped the honey hole like 3 inches and the thing broke. It's like, shh. Yeah, quartz is fragile.
You broke your honey hole? A honey hole.
I broke a honey hole. The first 2 honey holes I had. They break, dude. If you don't have something good to travel with it, them mamma jammas, they'll fall out like 2 inches, dude. 3 inches. Breaks. God forbid you drop it like you're holding it up chest length or.
If you're traveling.
Yeah. It's not the greatest travel companion. But on the other hand, I hate TI. Really. I mean, I don't hate TI. I shouldn't say that. I don't mind smoking off a TI, but it's got to be set up right. Like, I like the situation we mentioned yesterday when it has the ceramic joint with it. That's a little bit better because I'm not scared of breaking my stem or anything like that. That's what she said. Don't break your stem. Oh, I'm sorry. Shame on you, Tim. Smacked myself in the hand. Yeah, I did read this morning, though, that there was some glass blowers talking about quartz and the heating it up in the situation of, it giving off quartz blooms B-L-L-O Bloom. B-L-L-O. God. B-L-O-O-M. You know, like giving off quartz glass clouds, little.
I'm not familiar with these.
We should get somebody on the show to talk about it. Joel should talk about it. Come and talk about it with us. Because these people were like, yeah, you might want to think about this. And I thought I was doing something good by going to quartz. I didn't think quartz could be heated up by one of our torches that much to where it was giving off something like that. And somebody on the same thread of the same discussion, quite a few posts on here, was talking about how they had taken nails and this place had done testing about oxidation with the
Which
TI
place?
and stuff like that. I can't remember exactly what it was. That's why we got to talk about this more. But this is something to think about and bring that every single. I mean, if you're using the flame with it like we are, it's going to oxidize. It's going to oxidize it somehow. Is what they're saying.
And
I mean,
and that means
that's slightly scary. With a whole generation just dabbing the fark out, I guess we'll find out soon.
a whole generation.
A lot of people are just going to be dabbing. A lot of people just dabbing in Colorado.
Not as
California.
many people dab as you think.
No, not. I'm naming Colorado. I'm not thinking across the nation.
Oh, there's more people than listening, though, right?
There are just a lot of people dabbing. A lot of people dabbing.
Really?
A ton of people dabbing. That, did I mention yesterday on the show that Nate Diaz, I mean, he got pulled over Sunday night, and I can't remember where it was, maybe Nevada or something like that. He got pulled over, and he didn't get arrested, but somebody in his car had concentrated marijuana. Dabs. I mean, he's from California, Nate Diaz is, and, you know, a heavy smoker, UFC fighter.
They pulled him over after the fight?
Sunday night, he got pulled over. Saturday night was the fight. And Sunday, they found marijuana concentrate. They didn't find it on him, didn't charge him with it, but his driver or something like that. I don't know. But I was like, yabba dabba doo. Dabs making their rounds. I'm not saying everybody dabs outside of Colorado, but it's a pretty dang popular thing here. People doing it quite a bit. You know, usually people dab a lot or they don't dab at all. Mm-hmm. And therein lies the situation we've been talking about here recently. Somebody came in and corrected me about you, too, about something you said.
Oh, tell me, please.
Somebody close to the situation with Amendment 64. I will. I'll get to that in a second.
Okay, good, 'cause I need to learn this.
It's about the butane thing you were talking about.
Oh, good.
The situation with dabs, people passing out. I'm finding out more and more. Every day that we talk about it, there's something else that comes up with either hearing about somebody talking about it in our industry or a news story about it. And, dude, there are a lot of people in our industry that have been around for a long time that have just smoked weed, that haven't dabbed. You know, let's say like 50, 60-year-old people, even people up in their 40s, people my age, 30 even too. But I'm saying, like, it seems like maybe the older that people are, they dislike the dabs.
The older people are, the longer they've been around.
They dislike the dabs. They're not that into the dabs, and they like knock them on their ass, and they're like not pushing it like they are with marijuana. They're kind of throwing it under the bus, man. And I hope they know that while you throw dabs under the bus, you're throwing the entire community under the bus at the same time. I mean, you're taking back everything that you've accomplished at the same. I mean, I hope you understand this. That in the news, that this will be the thing that they latch onto. Your battle for. I mean, how easy is it going to be to legalize marijuana and make dabs illegal? I mean, does it work in California? No. Aren't you against prohibition? Yes. So then why would you sit here and say that dabs are a hard drug or insinuate it or say it's dangerous? It's not dangerous. Know your body. I mean, how long have these hippies been doing? I know, let's throw that in somewhere. I'm a hippie too. How long have you guys been doing LSD or... You know?
Yeah.
Maybe
crazy.
some of them haven't been doing it, but it's like, dude, come on. It's not even close. Like, know your body.
July 25th, 1992 was the first time I did LSD.
Know how you react to things and understand that. You know? Like yesterday, somebody said, yesterday Jill was hosting a show here. Jill Limereau. I think I've met her a few times, but yeah, I saw her again yesterday. She corrected me about the butane thing, by the way. And she also was like, I don't understand why people just don't sit down when they dab. Like, I thought the same thing.
But this is where I got it from right here. The task force recommends that Attorney General, the General Assembly, and local government review current statutes and ordinances relating to the residential use of compressed flammable gases, including but not limited to butane, propane, and hexane. State and or local government should clearly establish an applicable law and or ordinances that are that the use of these compressed flammable gases as solvents in the extract of THC and other cannabinoids in residential settings is unlawful.
That situation is going to be, I'm sure, left up to local communities, local municipalities.
Can't blast in Aurora, so go to Lakewood. Like that?
I don't think it's even going to be sent to the legislature necessarily. That's from a decently trusted source. Decently trusted source. I trust Joe. There's Warren. I got a question for him too. Go see if Warren's got a second for me to ask a question.
Cool.
See if he knows about something here coming up that I want to talk about. So yeah, I can't remember exactly what she was telling me yesterday. It left up to local municipalities, I think was a big thing that was going to be said.
As far as residential goes?
For rules and stuff like that?
As far as regarding what
I don't know
read,
if the legislature is going to touch it.
It's been recommended that they do. In this
That what you
recommendation.
just read wasn't necessarily, that said state or local. That was a pretty broad recommendation. Have you heard of this this situation here with the marijuana proposal aimed at training people who work in medical marijuana businesses? Have you heard of this medical marijuana training program?
Oh, yeah. It's very similar to the TIPS program with alcohol.
Warren Edson here from Edson, Maton, and Matz.
And yeah, basically, it's something that was instituted with liquor establishments to try to to give people who run the businesses some credit for when they properly train their employees.
So basically, is what this says. Optional designation would allow pot shops to train employees in state marijuana regulation and how to spot fake marijuana cards. In exchange, the business could get a break if they run afoul of state regulations. A similar designation exists, like you just said, in the alcohol industry. Looming recreational shops wouldn't be covered yet by the measure.
Yeah, and they'd tweak it because they'd want it in both. Because, again,
both.
It would be like part of the regulate like alcohol theory. Because, see, the thing is, when you get in trouble running a bar or a liquor store or something, obviously, if you do something really bad, they can just yank your license. But most of the time, you're entitled to hearings and all this stuff. And so one of the issues in the hearings is mitigating factors, things you've done to cut back on this happening again.
Yeah.
Okay. And the TIPS program is one of those things.
If you sell to an underage kid, usually that you're if you sell to an underage kid and you work inside of a liquor store or something like that, you have to go take a class. And so what exactly, do you know how long the class is or any other details of what they would have to do besides?
No, and actually it could be different. If you read down through this really long thing, it allows people to apply to run this class.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a link on here, House Bill 1061.
Yeah, and so when you go through that, there's a number of factors that the approving committee, I guess, would look towards. And as long as your class met those needs, you would be approved to teach one of the official TIPS classes, whatever they're all going to call it, BUDS class.
Good idea for this to happen.
It's okay. Sometimes I like it, sometimes I don't. It's like alcohol, so for average Joe consumer, it makes marijuana more similar to alcohol, which I know people hate alcohol, whatever. I just think more in terms of society's tolerance for it. Oh, it's just like that. And so they'll start putting in that category, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. On top of that, it does help the businesses if and when they get in trouble. I guess my only side note is obviously, most of the time you'd find out the folks who are really lobbying for this are the ones that intend to teach this class and make money off this class. And then I get all jaded and sarcastic and think that it always trickles down to the consumer. So overall, this is going to be something that gets added to the cost of your retail and or medicinal marijuana.
Is it going to be that? I mean, is it going to cost that much?
Probably $100 a person. Some variation of that. I'm sure in the beginning it'll be more expensive because only one place will have it or whatever. But I mean, the TIPS program isn't very expensive.
Whoa.
So.
That's my phone going off.
Yeah, I don't think it'll be a mind-numbing price. But again, that'll be up to each individual school, for lack of a better term.
But if it covers you in, like it said, I mean, if you run afoul, then you could get a break. I mean, that might be worth it in this situation. I mean, that would be.
It's definitely worth it. It's whether or not the business passes the cost down to the consumer.
Yeah.
I mean, most of the time they do. That's business. I mean, I'm not ragging on them. The businesses in general, that's what happens.
Yeah, I wouldn't think that would be that much to pass down on them, though. I hope they wouldn't.
Hopefully not. And for me, it's just more piling on more shit, So you get a little bit here, and you get a doubling your taxes, and then you get a buying cap, and all that stuff starts to add up to real money.
Yeah, no, I hear you. I understand that.
Yep.
Well, that's an interesting thing that I saw today. I didn't even hear of this at all until today. I was like, wow.
It floated around last year and almost got through. Yeah. And then, it came back this year. And again, particularly with the regulate like alcohol language in 64, it's kind of a natural step.
That's interesting. The butane recommendation we were talking about here a second ago, real quick. Jill yesterday told me that I can't remember exactly what she did tell me, but she told me something about that we may have not mentioned something right on the show, but I'm not. I mean, do you know anything about maybe what they'll decide with regarding butane extraction? I mean, is the legislature going to try and tackle it at all? Do you think?
We'll see if somebody blows themselves up between now and June 1st, because I mean that's mean and sarcastic and whatever, but that seriously is what's going to motivate them.
I think she mentioned something about Lakewood.
We know that Med doesn't really want to deal with this. I mean, we heard Laura Harris come out in January at the Jefferson County Courthouse meeting and talk about how she wants to slide all hash under the OPC license and then regulate basic workplace safety. But she was clearly not talking about banning it and was in fact asking for help from the hash making industry to better define the different types of hash.
What about residential?
Well, residential.
I mean, I can't. You say it, and you're like, immediately, I'm like, oh, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, well, I can laugh. Once the city councils figure this out, they will ban residential making of it just because of the blow up factor. And I mean, I know that bums tons of people out, but if your neighbor's a moron, it wouldn't bum you out because
it's not going to change. It's illegal to make in California, and you can get it at any dispensary in California.
Oh, and isn't that crazy too? And I tell Californians that, and they look at me like I'm crazy. I'm like, no, seriously, you aren't supposed to be selling or making this shit. And I'm like, oh, bullshit, I can go here. I know you can, but I'm just telling you, that's what it says.
If you ask them what it's made with, they'll say it's made with a solvent.
You're not even supposed to use any
loopholes.
Solvent.
Yeah. Well,
doesn't it directly say solvent? Like in the
we have
law?
to pull the Cali thing because Cali got pretty specific, and I feel like it does, but I don't.
I think it fell under the meth lab laws out there.
But I think it says
sure.
I think it specifically says some solvent. I don't know, but you can't have butane hash oil technically and technically they do.
You can here, and we'll see. I mean, in the same way, Denver's capped plants at 12, and Boulder says caregivers have to register like OPCs. I'm sure the cities will do something genius.
Yeah, you can't even. Well, if you have 2 medical marijuana cards in the house, you can have 12. That's what you mean by 12. You can have 6.
Well, even if you have expanded plant count or any of that, Denver says residential 12.
See, I thought they had even done.
They were 15 people living in the house, 12 total plants.
Yeah, I thought they were even like, no, we can't even have expanded plant counts here in Denver too. Huh.
No.
Denver.
Did you hear about this lady that she got? What was it? She got caught with coke and weed, and
she can't have that.
She only got.
You can't have coke.
What? No, I mean.
We were talking about in yesterday.
She got busted only for the weed.
Yesterday we were mentioning it blew me off the chain.
I didn't know that one.
No, it wasn't here in Colorado. It was in Idaho. Columbus, Ohio. It was in Ohio, I think. At an Applebee's, she was caught with marijuana and cocaine, and they just charged her with
possession
the marijuana.
Of weed.
Any explanation in the news story
No,
as to
there
why?
wasn't. Like, I should
cop
have looked
wanted
into
to
it
coke.
more. And like why the person would not, then in the news story didn't catch that. The second I read it, I was like, I jumped out of my chair. I was like, what? So I can't imagine. I don't know. I have no clue. Have you ever heard of that, really?
Well, I guess if there's like 100 pounds of weed and there's like a quarter gram of blow, I could kind of see it. But I mean,
no, this
most
is
of the
probably like
time
a
we see
personal
them.
amount.
Yeah, most of the time we see them pile on though, because I mean, it's like a game
Exactly.
of
I
cards.
thought that too.
Where the more charges the prosecutor can start with, the more they have to give away
Yeah,
and
exactly.
say, "Look at what a great deal I'm giving you."
That's what I thought.
But yeah, I wonder too if it was really coke. I mean, that becomes another factor.
Yeah, exactly. There's some. I mean, we all know that news reporting sometimes is not the most on point.
And all those field tests, in the police officer manual, it says they can't rely on their field tests in court because they don't freaking work. Okay.
Yeah.
So my guess is if you went to the truck stop and bought the aspirin headache powder or whatever that's like crunched up aspirin, my guess is that would. I wonder what that would test as.
Yeah.
Go to a smoke shop and there's that fake cocaine looking stuff. My guess is that would trigger those hot, and then all of a sudden they, test
Incense.
it for real.
I saw a big report that incense tests positive for a bunch of stuff. Ground up incense will test for
Oh, there's
everything.
a list,
Crazy.
particularly with those field tests. The field tests don't work. I mean, but anyway.
Yeah. There's some crazy things happening there. Talking about misdemeanors, possibly in one state. Taking DNA for misdemeanors and.
Well, and you guys caught that Kansas has ruled that you're.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
I figured
the Colorado marijuana, that medical marijuana. If you're a legal patient in Colorado, you can't be possessing marijuana in Kansas.
Yeah. And it does not fly there. Now, what'll be interesting is if a Coloradoan gets caught in California, where there's actually medical marijuana, because it wasn't about necessarily direct reciprocity in two states that allow it.
Yeah, because we don't have reciprocity.
Like Rhode Island that does. You can go.
Well, we can
do
go
have
there.
with Rhode
they can't
Island.
come
Right,
here,
sure.
Yeah,
because we don't have it.
Montana, we do.
Oh, pretty much the whole East Coast too. Maine, Vermont. We can do New Mexico, Arizona, Oregon, but you have to get your own doctor's rec.
Oh yeah,
from
Oregon's
Oregon. That's the hybrid model.
Yeah, Oregon's interesting.
Michigan, our card's good.
Yeah, so we got
If
quite
they
a
had
few
dispensaries, it would be worthy.
Any minute now, apparently.
Oh, they're coming back?
Yeah,
There's a few
the
states that
legislation is going through like almost right now.
They
There's all
found out
sorts
how to
of
get
them.
some more money out of them. So
A few states are looking at the money. That's exactly it.
And
is
Matt
that-
Cook's sitting there. I'm not kidding.
Matt Cook is right in there, going to be making rules for him. Matt Cook, by the way, is the one of the person here at the Department of Revenue that helped guide the rules.
I believe
made up
it's
the rules.
cookconsulting.com. You can always check.
Cookconsulting.com.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. See, make the rules in one state. Be the first one to something. Blossom for when it comes to
Everyone
everything
looks
else.
to you.
Dude, it's like that for everything. Throwing marijuana events, making rules, greasing the wheels.
Doctor sign-ups.
Michigan was pretty entertaining, though, in terms of how they'd pieced together their dispensary system by, patient-to-patient sales, and every employee had to be a patient. And so, I mean, that had been like hanging. Seriously, that's how it was like glued together for the last 2-3 years until their Supreme Court said, that doesn't work.
That's ridiculous.
Because, I spoke at a conference there, not last June, but the June before, that was about the 1284 rules they're making.
That's got to be because they're trying to protect their employees from prosecution.
It was the only way they could glue. They couldn't figure out how to make dispensaries because they had caregivers, but you had to be registered through a certain system, and you were limited. And so it was it was going to be patient-to-patient transactions, and. Unfortunately, it gets back to I can't give you my penicillin. What makes me think I can give you my other? But anyway,
man, it's gonna be interesting. Cup this year is gonna be interesting how that goes down. There's a bunch of other, and just crazy. The rules surrounding marijuana are just. Every state is starting to wake up a little bit. Every state with marijuana currently is starting to wake up a little bit. It's sort of changed their rules. Colorado's, started these. It seems like these bills are popping up left and right.
That's how
forming them towards liquor or a business sort of situation, and we're really making huge roads here. And the more I hear about Washington's situation, it's not ideal at all. They're going to have to fix a lot. At least they got legalization, but they're going to have to fix a lot over the next.
Well, and the problem is it says they're not supposed to do jack with it for 2 years.
In Washington?
Yeah.
See, but they're going to... Maybe that's good, though. Maybe that is sort of good because they're going to realize for 2 years what kind of ridiculous situation they have. They're going to catch Colorado's model or some other state and then move on with it. But you mentioned yesterday, real quick here, too, and didn't mean to keep you for a ton of time here.
No problem.
But yesterday, what's the deal with Washington to inform our viewers a little bit? The three separate licenses, and you can't have 2 at a time?
Yeah, well, it's much more like liquor. And in fact, people don't realize that in most states, liquor works. Granted, there's state-owned liquor stores in some states, yada, yada, yada.
Which is crazy.
Thank you, New Hampshire and North Carolina.
Yeah.
But, in Colorado, you can be a retailer, meaning the mom and pop store that sells the liquor. You can be the guy who distributes it, or you can be the manufacturer of it. But you're not supposed to be 2 of any of those things.
Okay.
So you're not supposed to make it and be the mom and pop. Now, granted, we have mixed in with that weird home brew or distillery stores popping up that are tasting rooms, and that's why you find this weird language to get around this stuff. But that's what Washington's like with weed, where you'll have growers, you'll have what do they call them? Processors, which I guess is supposed to cure and transport it, and then you'll have retailers, and you're not supposed to hold more than one of those licenses.
So growers, processors, retailers?
Yeah, and what's going to could potentially suck is when you look at the alcohol system in Colorado, the folks who get the raw deal are the retailers. It's the mom and pop liquor store that have to work 7 days a week to just, kind of make ends meet. The giant superstores are far and few between in the state. And so, I'm hoping that doesn't happen in Washington, where a lot of the folks who borne the brunt of all this as medicinal marijuana retailers get screwed over by ending up with this little store. Because the other thing is there's a 25% excise tax in Washington per stage. So that means they'll charge 25% from the grow to the distributor processor guy, and then another 25% from there to the retail store, and then another 25% from the retail store to the consumer. So yeah, once again, it's going to look to the consumer like
so when it gets
behind
sold
the counters making a shitload of money.
So it's when it's sold to the store, it's going to be pretty high. I mean, when the store gets it,
that's what I mean.
It's going to be pretty dang high priced, and
it's not going to be like they grew it themselves and they were able to recoup the profits from being the growers. No, the growers are going to take a chunk justifiably, and the middleman's going to take a chunk justifiably, and then it sticks the little old retail lady.
That's it. I mean, growers in a lot of states and a lot of situations are kind of getting the hose.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's not kind of pretty much are, except for in Washington now.
That's why we need to tank this vertical integration crap.
You don't like it at all?
Well, it should be
There are
optional.
parts of it that I do like it. There are parts of the vertical integration, putting together medical marijuana in Colorado and recreational, and but
if you can do it, it's obviously the better business model because you own the whole line of production or method of production, whatever the language is, and you maximize your profit. But at the same time, there are folks who just want to grow, and there are folks who just want to retail, and that should be an option as well.
It should be. It should be. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
And I think it would. I mean, it's gonna help the consumer as well to have folks let some of those folks that just want to grow just go grow and do their thing.
Yeah, it's taught a lot of people how to grow. I think I've seen.
Hell yeah, they had to learn.
They had to learn to survive because you had to own a dispensary and then you had to start growing your own. 70% of your own product had to come in, and then the 30% was mostly spent, from what I've heard, on edibles and stuff like that. I mean, it's
except Med took the Med bagged the whole 70-30 thing as to edibles when Laura Harris kind of took over.
Okay,
and so it really related just down to the raw bud. I mean, because that's when everybody played those silly games about taking a bud and spraying it with trichromes and then claiming that that's an infused product, so it didn't count against their 70-30. And I mean,
it's trichome infused, man.
Yeah, seriously. I mean, I think it was Dan who had the famous line that was the duck line or whatever. If it looks like a duck, quacks like a duck, it's friggin' weed. Then I'm going to count it against your 70-30.
Dude, it was funny. Like, people were like putting caviar together and they dip it in like oil and then keef it, and it'd be like crappy bud. would smoke horribly, and you're like, God, why would you do this?
Quadruple the price.
Right.
But they were more referring to the stuff that's I don't know, equivalent of one of those cereals that they spray with vitamins. Where I mean, the bud looked no different than any other bud. They were just claiming it had been sprayed with some kind of THC oil or something.
Yeah.
And then they could avoid 70-30.
But I would like to see. I would like to see growers be able to grow.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we need to have a situation to where people are able to produce weed. And I mean, like, I'll give an example here. Perfect example here is Derek and Adam with TH Seeds and Hoodlum and their situation that they have. I think Derek's now doing extracts for Pink House, not really doing a lot of growing, I don't think, right now. But also Rare Dankness, Scott with Rare Dankness growing for River Rock. I mean, in my opinion, and I'm not saying that these guys want to do this. This is just my personal opinion here. But, you know, if Rare Dankness wanted to open up a factory came to my mind, but wanted to open a greenhouse. You know, they should be able to do that. A farm. They should be able to do that. And then supply dispensaries with that. That should be an option to them. I mean, that's the open market. That's the way it should be.
The consumers are going to need it, man, because we're going to go
not
from
what's happening here in
100,000 consumers to 1 million consumers.
It's going to... And people think that it's not... Oh, there's not going to be a lot of weed smokers.
There's not enough weed right now for 100,000 people, and stuff's getting rushed to the market, and da-da-da. And how are... And
it's unflushed. It's uncured.
Yeah. They're not going to do vending again?
Well, I mean, if it's forced...
What do you mean vending?
I mean how you can show up to a dispensary with a pound of weed that you grew in your basement.
No, that's not going to happen.
Well, see, if it's forced vertical integration, we're still going to have 70-30 and all that fun stuff. And they're going to have to make their own. And how they're going to make their own for 1 million people, I don't know. And that's why it's, for me, going to require more grows and turning it over there.
It won't happen the way that you mentioned, Bike, is because you can't have a business in your basement. I mean, you got to have... It's not like you're just working off your computer on a business. I mean, you're actually producing something. Then it comes into the whole agricultural issue if you're zoned right for that. And I mean, I think...
How did they do it before when they had vending to...
We're well past that.
They didn't have any rules. That's
we're past that in Colorado, though.
So let them get caught up, and then we'll make the rules.
Well, because
we're
July
past
1st,
that.
2010.
We already went through that hurdle. That flaming hoop was already jumped through, and we did it magnificently, and everybody was like, wow, what a trick. We can't let them do it again.
Well,
it worked fantastically. I think nobody got hurt. Everybody, the economy was booming in Denver.
How the hell come, Tim, what is going to happen on January 1st, 2014?
When 100 people line up outside your favorite dispensary, there's usually one person.
How about just if you're, dispensary A changes from being MMJ to just regular old MJ. So in October, miraculously, somehow the state comes out with these applications they're supposed to come out with. And then January 1st, when they're supposed to release these licenses, they actually do. Suppose all that happens. How come with 8,000 hours of all these legislative meetings, no one talked about where the hell the weed's going to come from? Because are they going to allow us to switch the MMJ in the grows right now over to MJ, or are they going to make you kill it all when you transfer your license? Because med traditionally makes you kill it all when you transfer your license. And so is everybody going to have to start over with their recreational weed? And how,
I bet you they
when
will.
you can't start until January 1st, where the hell do you get it to sell it on January 1st?
But see, they've had a good...
I'm scared about that.
Well, there's been no discussion about this transition.
But don't
none,
be,
how can they?
None. I keep talking about it. It's like,
don't be scared about it, because you know what's going to happen is we may have got past the point of where it's the Wild Wild West, but still at the same time, in my opinion, this is my opinion here, Med has done a good job of turning their head and looking the other way.
They have,
a lot
but
of
this
issues.
one is going to be weird because they have not turned their head. I mean, if they won't let you move plants.
But see,
they've been real
dispensaries are gonna
dicks
have-
about dispensaries buying other people's grows.
But they'll have systems in place to track probably by that time too, so it won't be as easy. So Med will be like, try it this
hopefully,
time.
because we're talking 6 months. I mean, we're running out of time quickly, and there's been zero discussion about this transition phase.
I suggest
And
everybody.
How about the fact that the plants technically belong to the patients, right? Because they signed over their rights, right?
Sure.
So
See,
do you
if that
get to
gets thrown up,
convert
that's-
their plants?
Can I have my
over to-
plants, please?
Yeah. Well, do you get to all of a sudden magically change them into retail and make money off your patients?
That squashes the
that
argument
gets
right there.
weird.
That squashes the
It
argument right
gets
there
weird.
because the
Think of
patients
that.
they are the ones that have the plants.
And
but
they gonna suppose they all come in like in November and be like, "Fuck you, I'm taking back my plants." You either have to kill them or I'm canceling my, and then
buy them off me.
I mean, it could be an interesting. I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Check this out too, though. Here's my market report for 6 months. Everybody right now that wants to make a little bit of money here, you might put yourself out a little bit here. I'm just saying, this is putting yourself out. Wild Wild West is going to come back a little bit. Because I do agree that the weed is not going to be available for the people that are going to want to smoke. And we're going to have dealers, the street market dealers, the people like...
Oh, they're already hot and heavy right now.
They're going to boom for a little while. It's going to be a bubble. They're going to boom, and it's going to go away as soon as shops open up recreationally. So you think they're booming right now?
Then what about when shops?
Oh yeah, because
me and Chad were just talking about it, and I was telling him, I'm like, I still think to this day that you can't be a street level dealer and compete that well.
It's a different world now because I think most
changing.
street level dealers are, where's the thing, smurfing.
They are.
Well, I'm not going to name names, but go down
on our show.
you go down on Colfax and you can watch it. You go on different stores and you watch the guys go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth.
Give me an ounce.
No, grams, man.
Give me an ounce.
It's fascinating.
Grams?
Yeah.
They go by the gram?
Yeah. Well, because the street stuff,
because they'll be like, here's some tangerine kush for $30 a gram, man. Here.
It's been on, silly dude on Channel 4 News, Ken's Killer. He did it.
Channel 7 is like bombing the crap out of marijuana right now, man.
Yeah.
Fark them.
But anyway, we'll see and you'd think the price would go up if there's not enough of it come January 1st.
Black market is going to boom here for a while. That's fantastic to think about, Warren. Man, I've been out of the loop for a long time. It's nice having you in here getting us excited.
No, well, yeah, I'm not
I want to
sure
start growing like today. Like today, I want to throw plants
not
in
here,
there.
Please. But anyway.
No, not here.
Hey, that's available next.
No, it would be in an undisclosed location, in a situation where I'm not going to obviously start growing again because I don't have anything. But if I was in the situation where I could grow and do it and get away with it, go for it right now, and then do your thing and then get out.
Well, what's getting crazy though, man, is people aren't paying attention to all these wacky little municipal ordinances that are flying everywhere. We got, Luis the DEU intern. Not only is he going to kill us because we made him go to all those 64 things, but he's now having to do research into all the new little nuance rules and things like.
I got to make this guy like our best friend too.
Seriously, well, you need to bring him in and talk about all these funny things he's found. Like the smell ordinance in Aurora is amazing, and it looks like we're actually going to challenge that potentially in the next month or so, because there's an ordinance that said your grow in your house can't smell.
Wait, can't smell from the outside?
No,
in your house.
I'm talking. It's almost as vague as can't smell. And there's how do you measure that? How do you monitor that? I mean, Denver got into a pissing match with the noise ordinance over that.
I don't think I can actually.
Aurora just said that
keep 150
square foot grow you're limited to in Aurora, but then they won't define what that means. Like if you have buckets over in the corner, is that part of your grow?
See, that's why I liked Aurora for a while, because before the state went into place, the state put regulations in place, Aurora was a fantastic place to grow.
Right now, though, the mofos, if you're in the basement and you have 5 plants and your basement is 800 square feet, they're saying, oh, your grow's 800 square feet. So that sucks. But we'll see in the next couple weeks.
The rules on paper are pretty nice, but, dude, that's crazy.
But yeah, all sorts of little, the Boulder victory in the courts last summer has got a lot of these municipalities passing little things that nobody's noticed. So.
Yeah, well, there's ton of stuff. I look in the news here lately, and it's just there's so much stuff, man. It's like hard to keep up with everything. It's exactly with this House Bill 1061 with the training program. I didn't know that until today. And it's crazy.
Not to go all, I'm just a Bill, but I'm only, schoolhouse rock on you guys. But that is how the recommendations are going to come into play. The 25-person panel made recommendations to the legislature that the legislators are now supposed to turn into bills that they introduce.
It's not going to be one broad bill like 1284.
There'll be parts that are, there might be parts that aren't, because it's going to depend on the pissing match.
Because there was only a few kickoffs to medical marijuana. There was only a few bills like this, the one that we're talking about, this training bill. There's only a few things that have happened like this. Everything else was put in the 1284,
that's a recommendation from the 25-person panel. That tips thing,
really?
Even though it was around last year, that's in the fat book. So I mean that's already a spinoff. Now you've got
it's a recommendation for recreational marijuana, and then this one is the medical marijuana.
Yeah,
one.
so it's like
I thought you said that the 64 task force was recommending for medical marijuana, which I was like, what?
Well, no, they recommended it for retail as well.
Okay, cool.
But I mean, I think that's and I'm putting words in the mouths of our legislators, which is bad.
We could do that.
No, because they are more anyway. The group that they put together, their advisory panel that was recently put together, should put out a 1284 like all-encompassing thing, but we'll see.
See, why would they not? Because anything else is going to be too messy.
Because they're going to fight. Because there's going to be like, I can't get the other guys on this panel to accept this idea, so I'm going to go and introduce my own and see if you can get enough people in the big house and the Senate to agree with you, and you might see that.
How long do they have to do this? They have
first week of June. Like we said in the beginning, Laura Harris is going to end up making all the rules in the end.
Dude, this is not. I mean, that kind of. At first, I was like, "Oh, that's fantastic." No, it's not fantastic. That sucks. Because they're going to shove through a ton of crap in that short amount of time.
Well, we're going to see, because they might do the opposite and shove through skeleton rules and let DOR mince it out. And frankly, given the fact that so many of the pro-pot people are saying moronic stuff like a quarter bag of weed is the equivalent of a keg.
That's why it worries me.
I'd rather have it in Laura Harris's hands at this point, unless somebody
Laura Harris, for people that don't know,
is the head of the Medical Marijuana Enforcement Division, and I'm going to live to regret what I just said. But she doesn't believe in vertical integration, doesn't believe in buying caps, doesn't. I mean,
well, if you look at what happened with medical marijuana, the situation where Matt Cook, who was the head of, Department of Revenue, I mean, him and what's his name,
Dan
Hartman. Dan Hartman made up quite a bit of the rules when it came down to medical marijuana. Not quite a bit.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they pretty much all the details were from them.
Well, and back in those days, though, they also had the input from the stakeholders, using the language they like, and that 25-person med panel.
Yeah.
But, of course, when Laura took over, she doesn't play like that. So she canned the 25-person med panel. Yeah, it doesn't exist anymore.
I didn't think they really followed that panel anyway, did they?
Dude, a variation of what we just sat through. A whole lot of time, a whole lot of people spent fighting over a whole lot of stuff, and then somebody else just writes the rules.
Exactly. That's what I thought happened. But see, in Colorado, we do have. I mean, I'm proud to be here and making this part of this situation and watching it happen because, I mean, it's unique. There's not another state. I mean, Washington's not following what we're doing here.
No.
And everybody, I think,
Massachusetts is close, but we're talking retail and they're talking medicinal, so.
It's gonna be like medical marijuana. I think a lot of states are going to follow what Colorado does and then possibly go off of what Washington does. And it's gonna get loose and then tight.
Oh, we'll see. Because that was a fascinating. That sucks. I mean, that was an experiment. I mean, no ifs, ands, or buts. It was Washington and some more draconian stuff in there, like no home growing and 5 nanograms and a strict licensing scheme with only one license being able to be held versus Colorado. And what surprised everybody is, I'm sure you've talked about, is we won as big as Washington won without having to put all that crap in.
Yeah. That's what frustrated a lot of people was that Washington had those rules like the 5 nanogram driving limit, no grows, the license rule like you were just saying. So that it's still good to be in Washington.
So Tim, they didn't fix distribution. Because, 64 allows me to hand you weed recreationally. Washington doesn't. So, I mean, technically, if a cop wants to be a dick in Washington State, us sitting on the couch and me packing you a bong hit is me breaking the law. Even though,
it's recreational.
Things need to get hammered out in Washington.
Well, that was intentional, man. I mean, again, they intentionally wrote that to not go as far into the gray area as we did. But, it's fun that they both passed with about 10%. So.
What's going to be awesome is when we see a state legislature pass it. When the state's like, all right, we'll just go ahead and pass it. That's going to be really cool.
Yeah, and that's going to probably back east somewhere, at some point.
Because
that's what's going on in Massachusetts. It's so fascinating, is having their MMJ go.
Wouldn't you
through
say
there
generally the East Coast is more of like a legislature driven? This is probably wrong because there's so many. But like, it just feels like there's more people-initiated processes here in the West than happens on the East Coast. It's more
Here?
of like legislature.
More here?
Yeah, here in Colorado, on the West Coast.
Well,
not
that's
just
part of the
Colorado.
Wild West home rule stuff, though, too. I mean,
Definitely.
most East Coast states, you don't even have the ability. I mean, the percentage of signatures you need to gather to get on the ballot is insane.
That's what's
which is what
crazy.
they keep trying to change here as well to make it harder to have citizen-driven initiatives.
We keep knocking it down like crazy.
Well, this is a prime example of something that had to come from the citizens because the politicians didn't have the balls to do it themselves because they were worried about getting kicked out of office.
Man, that night was amazing. I will remember that night for the rest of my life. The night we legalized, man. Being there at Castleman's, it's great.
And the only one that might have been more entertaining was the year that Mason passed the taking it off the books in Denver one.
Yeah,
that was the one for me because that was so unexpected.
I-100,
and
I think
yeah,
is what it was.
yeah, and to go to Cervantes or whatever it was at the time, Quixotes, and if people don't know, we all left thinking we lost, only to have it come back and damn, we won, and we all came back. But that, yeah,
Denver's been fascinating to be in. Mason will be on the phone Friday.
cool.
You want to hang out if you're going to be here or whatever.
Now he's a big MPP guy.
I know. I just I
Communications
paid attention.
director, is
yeah,
that what he is now?
Communications director. I just paid attention today because I knew he was with MPP. And I've read his emails, but I didn't read the underneath what his title was. It's cool. Now I got a good friend. It's the communications director for MPP.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Good.
And you just have to keep him set up with jam band tickets, and he's happy.
Exactly. Dude, I'm glad that, and that's good for MPP to put him in that position too. I mean, MPP has been beaten up pretty badly over the past couple of years here with situations with Rob Kempia, and I mean that's just. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not going to sit here and say that. Oh yeah, MPP's been an absolutely perfect organization over the years for, our industry. Which they've been a fantastic organization. I'm not going to say that, but there's been a few times that they've gotten hit with a few things, and
The language in Washington primarily comes from them.
That's one
some
of
of
the
the
things I
unusual
talk about, I
language
didn't
in
wanna mention.
Arizona comes from them. And granted, it's based in political polling, and that's the game they play.
yeah,
Better or worse. So, but they got the money, and it got done here, so you got to give them some credit.
I'm going to ask Mason about it.
I mean,
gonna ask
he
him.
knows. He
I'm gonna
knows.
ask him. It's
I got
the
a head,
most-
though.
Cool. Thank you for staying so long with us and
No problem.
BSing with us and giving us the information that we asked for.
Hey,
so
and no
readily.
court day. It's always great. But anyway, I'll talk to you guys later.
That's the best part about it all. Free and no court date. Thank you. Warren Edson from Edson Maton and Mats. Fantastic. Bam! He knocked over the fan.
Epic.
Touchdown! I knew when I walked in this morning that somebody was going to hit the fan. I was like, I should have said, get that out of the way. Thank you, Warren. Sorry for yelling at you guys in your guys' ear. Maybe do that. Edson Maton and Mats, 303-831-8188. 303-831-8188. Oh, man, I could talk with Warren for a long time. If you ever have anything, you can be like, hey, I got some.
Perfect
question.
timing. Definitely good to have a guy like that who knows it on hand.
Yes.
Because we don't know what the hell we're talking about.
A lot of the time,
We're just dancing. And I don't even dance.
dance, like I danced before the show. So that's crazy. That's going on in Colorado. Let's see if there's any new news coming out of anywhere here on Google.
Coming out of the news machine.
Coming out of the news machine of Google.
I'm going to eat your last piece of chocolate while you do that.
No, that's not my chocolate.
I'm going to eat this last
Who
piece
said
of
you
chocolate.
could eat that?
Well, this morning when I came in, I said, hey, can I have a piece of chocolate? And then you didn't answer, so I just had one. And I've been nibbling on them ever since.
I didn't eat anybody's chocolate here at the studio. That's
No, but Tim said I could.
bikes. You just stated yourself that I said nothing.
By saying nothing, you said you
I was
didn't. You
busy.
didn't say I couldn't.
I was busy doing the show.
So you said I could.
All right, you owe
Nah.
some chocolate here for the studio. Like I say, you owe me. It's not mine.
Rolo.
I hope it's George's that she comes and yells at you. How you like bike now, huh? All right. Senate okays fine for small amounts of marijuana in Maryland. Maryland Senate approved.
It's fine.
What?
It's fine. They said, okay, it's fine.
Let me read the story.
Senate
Shush.
says, okay, it's fine for small amounts of weed.
Okay's a fine.
It doesn't say a fine. It says, okay, fine.
Let me get through a story today. The Maryland Senate has voted to eliminate potential jail time for people who possess less than 10 grams of marijuana. Senate voted 30-16 today for the measure, which would fine people $100 in civil court if they possess the equivalent of about 2 joints or less.
Okay.
Supporters say the measure will save the state money by relieving the strain. The strain such as crimes put on the criminal justice system. These kind of crimes. Opponents worry that decriminalization could increase drug use among youth. Oh, that's the token statement to be included into every single. What about the kids?
The gateway drug.
Meanwhile, the Maryland House Judiciary Committee is also scheduled to hold a hearing today on a measure to legalize limited amounts of marijuana for adults 21 and older. So we're like, this first one's going to pass. We don't know if the second one will. The bill would remove all penalties for private possession of up to an ounce of marijuana and cultivation up to 3 plants. The measure would also direct Maryland controller to license marijuana retail stores, wholesale facilities, and testing facilities. The bill was introduced by Delegate Kurt Anderson, Democrat out of Baltimore. CBS Baltimore following the story. You'll have more at 4, 5, and 6 on WJZ TV.
CBS.
Pat Warren. It's a lady.
CBS.
Trooper finds marijuana candies, marijuana hidden in car on I-70 in Missouri. There's a lot of, that looks like gummies. Is that gummies? Gummies mixed in with weed?
Or it's red hash.
That's high quality weed right there. That's not no brick weed. Missouri Highway Patrol trooper searching a car during a traffic stop found 9.5 pounds of marijuana and 6.25 pounds of marijuana candies.
With an estimated street value of $750,000.
We're like, there's like 4 or 5 candies there. No, that'd be ridiculous. It'd be like 1.5 pounds candy. 6.25 pounds of candy. I'm trying to think. That's why this is ridiculous. This is gonna be the next thing that comes out. Like they had $2,000 ounces, at one point in time or whatever. $4,000 pounds, $8,000 pounds.
Ounces is a good deal.
And these candies, dude. Like
selling them by the pound.
A really dense marijuana infused product. They put it on. It weighs like 1 pound. Oh, there's 1 pound of marijuana. Lock this guy up. Somebody dragging the chains.
Same when they bust. Yeah.
I yelled and coughed. Continue what you were saying there. I was giving you a moment to speak.
I was gonna say, just don't cough on me.
God. Do you have sand somewhere today?
God, do I have sand?
Sand somewhere?
Do I have sand somewhere?
You need to rub the sand out.
Do you have a hair across your ass? Is that what you're saying?
Something like that.
No.
The trooper stopped a 2013 Hyundai Sonata for a traffic violation on eastbound Interstate 70 about 3 miles west of Sweet Springs in Saline County, according to Highway Patrol, because of inconsistencies and deceptive behavior by the driver and passenger. Inconsistencies. I can't read. The trooper asked to search the vehicle. After giving consent, the trooper searched the vehicle and found the drugs concealed inside the trunk. Randall Swallows,
What?
46, and Andrew L. Manley, 22, both of Anderson, Indiana, were arrested and charged in the Saline County Circuit Court with possession of a controlled substance and intent to distribute it, according to Highway
To
Patrol.
distribute good times.
Sweet Springs is about 30 miles northwest of Sedalia in Missouri, I take it. There's a Sedalia here in Colorado.
Yeah, this is Missouri.
So 6.5 pounds of candy. 6.25 pounds of candy. That's going to be interesting to hear the stories come out about how much candy weighs. Be like 6.25 pounds of candy and there's a few grams.
That's over 2 kilos of candy.
Damn, dude. What?
I said that's over 2 kilos of candy.
How much is a kilo? What is a kilo?
2.2 pounds.
Kilo is 2.2 pounds?
Yes, a kilogram.
Nice. I never bought into the...
I used to watch a lot of Miami Vice.
Wait, that is the metrics. Wait, the metric system is what... Wait. What is it? What's the difference between the metric...
It's the metric system. You'll be able to tell it's the metric system because I converted it to pounds.
Metric.
And you can't convert pounds to pounds.
It's a band, a Canadian indie rock and new wave band founded in 1998.
I used their abacus to figure it out.
That's what it came up when I searched for metric system. International decimalized system of measurement that was
Standard.
originally based in the Metre d'Archive. So what's our system?
Standard.
Is it really standard?
Standard measurement.
Why can't I remember crap, dude?
Your hat's
I have
too
a
tight.
horrible memory, dude. Everybody around me is like remembers stuff all the time, and I'm like, I don't remember.
Feel left
anything. I know I feel left out. I think it's a good thing and a bad thing.
Feel left out
Good
because I
thing 'cause
can't
I-
remember stuff.
It's a good thing because I don't give a damn. Man, that's crazy. I never bought into that crazy way of talking
what?
about measurement. I'm with feet and pounds and everything else. It's square for me. That's why we made it
What
that way.
size shoe do you wear?
When we were in school,
In European size. I wear a 44.
I have no clue and I do not care. When I was in school, they would try to get us to convert over to, all that.
And you'd be like, nah, I ain't doing that.
no, nobody would do it.
I ain't doing that.
Who would do it?
They would try. When I was in school, they would try to get us to do stuff. And I was like, nah, I ain't doing it.
You're driving me nuts today.
I just don't get it. What do you mean? In school, they tried to get us to do. You mean they taught you stuff, and you were like, I don't want to learn. I didn't know. You go to rebellious school, and you guys just like, hey guys, they're trying to teach us stuff. Let's get together and say no. We ain't doing that.
At this point in time, I have no clue what the fuck you're talking
I
about.
don't either. I was hoping you'd chime back in so I have some more ammo.
I was hoping you'd stop there at some point in time.
Here we go. That's the end of it.
That's what you get for driving into a cul-de-sac in a roundabout, going nowhere.
Roundabout. We don't call them roundabouts back east. It's a rotary.
Rotary? The fuck is a rotary?
Rotary road.
No, it's a rotary.
No clue what the hell
A
that is.
roundabout is a rotary.
You're weird, dude.
Yes, and what is your point there? You're hairy, dude.
I'm not hairy.
Your face is hairy. It's like a bird's nest. No one grows a beard faster than...
At
No
least
one
I can grow a manly beard.
That's true. No one can grow a beard faster than you. At least I can grow a manly beard. What does that do? And I complimented your beard, and you're like, at least I can grow
I'm just saying. I wasn't saying, like, I
beard."
wasn't comparing it to you or anything. I was just saying, at least I can grow a manly beard.
At least you can. Thank God you have that going for you.
Exactly. Now shut the fuck up.
Yeah, go ahead.
God. Thank God there wasn't a lot of news today. You're stalling for time. No, I'm kidding. Just letting you talk today, man.
Thanks.
You kidding me lost, though. All right, next story. Can't remember if I wanted to cover this one or not.
Orlando Senate. Oh, that was that one.
Actually, let's go to this one.
That's a cover of the Westward.
'Cause I think it's lobby day. Or is it lobby day? No, tomorrow is lobby day.
Hemp.
Tomorrow's lobby day, hemp lobby day, Colorado. So we'll talk a little bit about hemp. Why not today, tomorrow? This story is a long story. We won't talk about the whole thing here. But if you go to tokeofthetown.com, they have a introduction to this story, and also westward.com here in Colorado has the entire story. Can industrial hemp make a comeback? New laws in Colorado have some activists excited. William Breeze writes, last week, Denver Westward writer Melanie Asmar took a closer look at what recent marijuana legalization laws have done for industrial hemp in Colorado and what that could mean for the rest of the country. In it, she details a merry band of hempsters, a small but dedicated group of supporters that includes a retired Yellow Pages saleswoman, a self-described mad scientist, and a victorious defendant in one of Colorado's landmark medical marijuana cases, and a handful of stone-cold sober lawmakers who represent the type of places where people have dirt under their fingernails and make their living off the land. Farmers? Together, this group is determined to create a hemp industry and position the state at the leading edge of an agricultural boom. I wonder who's the...
I was just going to say, who's the self-described mad scientist? That's what you're asking.
Well, I know.
right?
I was going to ask who is the landmark case, which
I
I was
wanna know
figuring
who
it
the
was going to
mad
be
scientist is.
Jason Love, which it is Jason Love. Jason Love is part of this. Jason Love helped write a bill that created a 10-year pilot program to study industrial hemp. I don't know. I'm trying to find out who's a mad scientist. Since you want to know so badly.
Does Doc Brown from Back to the Future live in Denver now?
Let's just go ahead and go with that. I like that one. That one works for me. Smooth Jazz, Colorado. K-High. K-H-I-G-H. It is, dude. It's right here.
That's awesome.
K-High. That would be my station if I were to name it.
Kalo. K-L-O-W.
KWEZ Radio. That's in my broadcasting school. We made a fake radio station, and I was like the program director.
Did you know
And
that
I named it KWEZ.
all radio and television stations that are east of the Mississippi
Yes, I did know
start
that.
with W? A lot of people don't know that.
I went to broadcasting school. Thank you
Wow.
very much. That was the first thing I learned.
Did they teach you the history like that?
West of the Mississippi, K. East of the Mississippi.
Why is that, I wonder?
Why is it?
W-H-Y. I'm asking you. Like,
Do you know why?
No.
I forgot.
Yeah, but it's pretty interesting.
Why East is K radio and West?
K hertz.
Y. Or W. I knew this.
Is it so you know where you are if you get lost and you turn on the radio?
Beginning in 1912, every country approved of and received designated letters to begin radio station call letters with. In the United States, the letters W and K were to be used. At first, it didn't matter what part of the country a station was located to use either letter. Then in 1923, the FCC ordained that all new radio stations east of the Mississippi River would use W, and the first letter in the stations west would be K. Well, that figures that the almighty FCC would just say. I should have just said, because the FCC said.
Yeah.
Certain stations were grandfathered and allowed to keep their letters for various reasons. By the way, Canadian stations begin with C, and Mexican stations begin with X. Ex Mundo, cara, whatever they do station. that was like Mexican, and then it went into
Telemundo.
Like, and then it went into like sumo, sumo guy. X. I wish I could speak Spanish so that I could do Spanish radio announcing. That's so epic. Spanish
Is
radio
there a
announcing.
shortage in the market? They don't have enough Spanish announcers?
No, I'm sure they
Spanish
have plenty.
speaking.
That would just be awesome. Or to be a
The
soccer
white guy.
No, I want to be a soccer announcer. Goal! I had more in me. I just thought that was ridiculous at that point in time. I was going on that long.
The camera wasn't on you.
That's our call for Warren from now on. That's a soccer. He's such a soccer fan.
Yeah.
We're gonna call him that way. Just yell goal. Oh, I had the camera on you.
Yeah, you guys missed a show.
I was going back here. I was like, I've been a race car announcer. That was fun. Racetrack, dirt track announcer. And that old car passed around on the side of the edge. Track 2, the Colonel 2, it's done and flipped on top of the other car and ran over him and flipped over the wall. I'm out of inners, that goal took it out of me.
Oh, yeah. German sounds cool. I like German stuff. They always sound angry.
Be quiet.
It's crazy. Rammstein.
Nobody wants to hear about the Germans, man.
Germans are cool.
Let's keep us happy.
When I thought about, when you said that, you mentioned that, I thought about that Greek soccer player that just got banned for life for making the Heil Hitler.
Whoa.
He took off his shirt and he's got tattooed on his stomach. I saw, "Get rich or die trying." A bunch of other tattoos. And he gives the Hitler salute.
Jeez.
Now you're banned, sucker.
Classy.
He's trying to be cool.
He was trying to be anti-Semitic.
Yeah, I don't know. Trying to get noticed, I guess.
That's what was going on. They don't take kindly to Hitler in Europe, Chad.
Yep. I don't like him either.
You're lucky he's dead.
Yeah.
He can punch you in the kneecap.
That'd be fine.
I don't know what I'm talking
I could take him.
about. You would take everybody. I could take him.
I don't know.
I could take him.
Yeah.
What if you couldn't take him?
Maybe. I don't know. I've only seen pictures of him old. So
Hitler?
I guess so. I don't know. Been a while.
Why are we talking about Hitler?
I don't know.
Because you said you could take him.
Oh, I thought it came off the, what was that other thing?
The Great Wall of Germany.
I have no clue where we're talking about right now at this point in time.
Yeah.
Soccer is where we were talking about. I'm trying to get the end lined up here. I didn't have it. That's when you guys are supposed to talk. Fantastic co-hosts I have here.
You're about to talk about soccer.
When I start to trail off and when I'm doing something, that's
You trail
when
off the whole show.
No, that's when you pay attention. But when you pay attention to me, what I'm doing here on the screen, you could be like, oh, it looks like he might be trying to do
When
something.
I start doing that, my eyes squint and I get a headache, and then all of a sudden I start getting dizzy, hallucinating, and saying weird shit. So don't ask me to do that.
Mike has like spurts of like crazy, not crazy input, but just input. Sometimes it's crazy.
From paying attention
it
too
fits in
much.
perfect here. And I would just be like out of nowhere, like a bunch of things, and then other times,
Oh, a pinball
it just
machine.
lets me hang myself.
Yeah.
I love it. What else do I had to talk about here? I think we got everything that I had to talk about here for just BS and covered.
What else is on the list?
I had already talked about the things I wanted to talk about. Courts. Actually, I was going to ask you, because I know you were whining before the show about courts, that you don't like it. I don't like TI. I can't smoke off TI. I'll smoke courts all day, every day. Why don't you like courts, dude? You'd rather smoke TI or courts?
I feel rushed when I'm smoking quartz. One, I feel like I heat up the nail, and then I gotta have everything ready to go because it cools off so fast. And then I
Quartz?
don't. Yeah, I was just.
TI is heats.
I know how to heat my TI.
Nah.
You telling me I don't? I know how to heat my TI.
I just don't think. I don't think it's as good of a heat situation as Quartz Honey Hole is.
That's great.
My experience.
Yeah.
TI doesn't stay
Stay
hot like
warm.
it should.
What?
Leaves nice little pools a lot of the time. Burning off a lot. With my quartz, man, I got it dialed in like a mofo.
Why don't you get me a honey hole to try out?
Why don't you go up to Joel's shop and ask him for more?
I don't know, Joel. I've never been to a shop. And I'm asking you. You're right here. You seem to have
I can't just get one.
You seem to have a direct pipeline to him.
No, he gave me one for my birthday. Shoot. Can't just go get one. We got to go up there, though. I do want to go up there. So maybe when we go up there, you could be like, hey.
So you get him for your
Test
birthday
drive
if you
his
know
ass.
him? Is that the deal?
No, I did.
All right, then. So I must, too, right?
No.
I know Tim. What's up? Tim sent me.
That's not how it works.
It's my birthday.
Yeah.
Don't use that.
Yeah.
Tim said I could
By
have
the way.
some stuff, Joel.
I wouldn't use that.
What's up?
I wouldn't use that with anybody. You might get killed. Not by me. The other person. They might be like, what? They'll be like, laugh.
No, just say he told me you were going to laugh.
No, they'll laugh because it's like, Tim? Who? Tim Martin? Like, that guy ain't getting, he ain't getting nothing.
Shit. Here's some herpes.
What? Where'd that come from?
I don't know.
They're going to give you
I
herpes?
don't know where herpes came from, Tim.
They'll give you herpes.
Because I know you.
You have herpes? Is that what you're saying?
I didn't say that. I said
I don't know what you're saying.
I don't either.
I certainly am. I'm certainly fine. Fresh is so clean here. I don't know about you.
Is that the symbol for no herpes? Brushing off your
I'm brushing
shirt?
on my shoulder,
No
bro.
herpes, yo.
Because I'm trying to think. Trying to just focus back here off your ridiculousness.
It's impossible.
Oh. Weed, dude. I thought you said you think about weed all the time. You think about a lot of really
I'm
sometimes
thinking about weed when I'm talking about herpes.
inappropriate things, man.
Thinking I want to go take a rip right now.
Go ahead.
Nah, you might talk about me.
Will, probably. Anyway, that's why the radio stations. Then getting back to
Can we get a speaker in the green room?
If you grab one. If you get one.
All right.
I don't have any extra speakers here. But shut up and talk about weed.
What do you got? What is that weed you got right there, actually?
I don't know what it is.
How do you
various collection of greens. It's been the same greens that I've had.
All right, I'm just saying, when I get weed, I know what it is.
I usually know what it is, too, but there's a few different ones that were mixed into that bag from a few different times we've gotten.
When I was breaking it up, you could have asked me what it was.
Huh?
When I was breaking it up, you could have asked me what it was.
What do you mean when you were breaking it up?
Are you talking about that jar that we split? It was a gift.
I don't know. I got some from Green Side Up Gallery, and then somebody else brought some in here. I got like a nug of that.
Yep.
I didn't see no jar.
The jar from Greenside Gallery, and I gave you half of it in a bag.
Cool. That's probably it.
That's it. And as I'm saying for the third time now that you're all lined up and know what we're talking about, I could have told you what the buds were if you wanted to know.
Well, I probably did know, but see, they're in a bag and they got jumbled around, so really, I don't know what the buds are now.
Jumbled buds are still identifiable.
Well, maybe to you. I could care less.
So I was just making a point that I like to know what I'm smoking, and you don't like.
I usually do. I usually have my stuff separated out.
Why didn't you this time?
Because I didn't care.
All right,
I thought we had accomplished that when we saw the baggie and not a jar.
I had a jar. We've come a long way from licking out sandwich baggie and keeping our weed in there. How many jars do you? You have some jars.
Yeah, I have quite a few jars. So that's why having it in a baggie is even more ridiculous.
That's why I just didn't know why you put it in jars when you got home.
Because I obviously don't care. I don't care.
Right.
If I cared, it would have been in it would have been in the jar.
Point made.
Exactly. Did I make it clear enough for you?
Yes.
Do you have any more 20 questions?
You don't care about weed. We know this now.
I'm glad we freaking established that flowers. Aw, did you bring flowers for your girl? How cute. That's what I think when I see flowers. Bring me the real stuff.
It's weed.
Bring me the hard drug. As many pro-marijuana organizations are saying about Earl. God.
Freebase.
Are you done today? Being a pain in the ass?
Well, I got 13 minutes left. I could be a pain in the ass for 12 of those minutes.
I'm sure you probably could.
What are you requesting?
I don't know. You should talk about greens. Like, you got anything on your mind with greens? Serious? Non-serious?
I smoked some alien rock candy the other day. There was some pretty
alien rock candy. A bud?
Strain, yes.
I've never heard of that.
I got it at Kind Love. I don't know if it's one of their strains or not, but I just smoked a joint. I got higher than I have in a long time off of some weed.
Really?
No, it totally made up that whole story.
I didn't think you smoked that much weed.
I don't smoke that much weed. This doesn't do the same. But this was above and beyond anything I expected from a weed buzz. Alien rock candy. We'll have Fred talk about it when we get Fred in here.
Yes, you.
Fred, not Ned.
What's the cross? Do you know?
It's alien times rock candy. I don't know.
Alien times rock candy.
I don't know if it's alien genetics or what.
Jesus Christ. So Earl-wise,
I smoked some. Do I even dare say it's probably the best Earl I've smoked in my life so yet to date.
Oh, what, that stuff you posted up last night?
The kosher kush. It was the picture doesn't do it any justice. The light made it brighter than it was. The thing is almost invisible. It's like, how THC has no color. This little piece of shatter almost had no color to it.
How THC has no color?
I don't know. You tell me. How does it have no color?
It doesn't necessarily have no color.
THC? I've always been told it's colorless.
THC? I don't know if THC exactly is colorless.
You've made that point clear.
Trichomes are clear, cloudy, amber.
Mm-hmm.
And I think sometimes...
Sometimes why?
I think sometimes that when you purify it like crazy, and you get that really good stuff, it's got sort of that amber tint, that goldish amber tint to it. So, refining it. I've seen clear be a little bit better, more of a smooth, and I've seen shatter and more of a clear be a little bit harsher. Seems like the more less amber it is and more gold, the more smooth the hit is. So I don't know. I was just making a.
If this had any color, it was gold.
I was making a hypothesis that because of the color of the trichomes, that sometimes that's how the greens were turning out. The Earl, which would be a good. That would be a good inference.
Good acid test.
That would be something good to ascertain from the situation that it would be a certain color.
Extrapolate.
No, I don't. I've seen red hash made.
Hash or oil?
Sage, like sage, made a funky color a couple times.
Mm-hmm.
This a few people that made it came out sort of this, like weird reddish. It's just the way that you make it has a huge influence into it too. I mean, that's obvious.
Yes, don't make it inside.
Do. I mean, on the look on it.
For sure.
Where you do it can have an effect on your health. Doing it indoors.
In your free time.
Do it indoors if you want to die and kill everybody around you. Ruin the whole community. Blow yourself up.
Make us look like idiots.
I thought at the bar the other day, we were watching the UFC fight that these lady in front of us. I thought they were talking about and showing pictures of this person that had blown themselves up in like a lab or something like that. Because I saw this picture. This chick was like showing off her phone, waving it all around, not very privately. It's like, dude, I can see this. And then I like look at it out of the corner of my eye, and I saw flesh, burnt flesh, and I was like, oh god, not the good flesh. It's like I saw a dude's arms burnt or something. I don't know. And I was like, man, that sort of looks like maybe that person got burnt. And then I heard him talking about. I thought I overheard him talking about a lab or that making something. And I was trying to overhear a little bit more. And
He figured he would have been inside just emptying cans of butane.
I'm usually not that nosy. Really not around like people that I don't know. People I do know. Sometimes I could be like, yo, what's that going on?
You would be a good on-the-scene reporter then.
I am a good reporter.
On-the-scene reporter at being nosy.
I am a good reporter. But so I thought they were talking about that, and I was going to be like, "Hey, where did that happen? What's that?" And I was going to kind of 20 question him if it was.
You should have.
She was wearing a shamrock and a weed bead necklace, shamrock necklace, and a weed bead necklace.
Weed bead, that's cool.
Mardi Gras necklace.
Oh yeah, I told them about the show.
You did.
Yep.
You did.
Weed bead necklace.
Anyway, I don't think I have any more stories today.
What? Make one up. Just totally go off the cuff. Go.
No, we're not going to make up stories here. Nobody's going to believe a damn word that you ever say. John Morgan is throwing his political heft, code for megabucks, behind the effort to legalize marijuana in Florida.
Heft means megabucks?
Behind legalizing medical marijuana in Florida. It's the lift marijuana lobby has been dreaming about. Morgan is the perfect mainstream guy for the job. I don't even know who this guy is. That's why I wanted to read it, because I've seen stories now a couple days in a row about this guy. That plump mug of
Heft.
his of his is as ubiquitous as palm trees, thanks to the considerable airtime he buys to promote his Morgan & Morgan law firm on television and radio, not to mention a forest of billboards. Ah, he's a lawyer. He's a TV lawyer. By TV lawyer, I mean, hey, where are you going?
He's got to take a wicked pisser.
He couldn't wait like 10 minutes. So that's cool. In Florida. Not bad. Not what I was talking about. Oh, this show started off so great. Went downhill. Morgan was motivated by news coverage of a People United poll saying that 7 out of 10 Floridians would support a constitutional amendment to support marijuana for medical use. He says, I believe that 90% of Republican legislators would vote for this inside the privacy of voting booth. Morgan has become chairman of People United. There's no obvious political upside for Morgan. Maybe he's a lawyer. and he would see. The positive upside is that he is throwing his hat in the ring so early, being a supporter of this. I mean, make a name for yourself for a long time when you do stuff like this. People United's best shot is gathering nearly 700,000 signatures by February of next year to get a constitutional amendment on the ballot. Polara.
Tastes like weed in here.
This person, they're glad to have you back. Let's see this. We don't need to know that person's name. Former state finance director for Hillary Clinton's presidential campaign estimates it'll take up to $10 million to bankroll medical marijuana getting passed in Florida. Talked yesterday with Robert Platshorn, the Black Tuna from Black Tuna Diaries, and
Black
Square
Tuna,
Grouper.
Bama.
We talked with him yesterday, and he's from Florida, living in Florida now.
Is he from Florida? He had an East Coast, subtle East Coast accent.
I can't remember where he was from. He's been all over. He's been all over. So, Florida, just man,
yes,
continuously talking about reform when it comes to marijuana, but still one of the last places in the world that I would not want to get busted for drugs in Florida, for any drug. Doesn't seem like one of those places that would be too kind to you after you went through the system. Might end up in jail for quite a while. What was that?
That was the first 11 bars of Dixie.
Was that the backwoods?
Yes.
Dukes
of Hazzard horn.
Are you saying that all of Florida is backwoods?
The backbone of all of it is, yeah. Some of it is disguised as Miami or Boca, or
I think it's
most of it's got the banjo rhythm in the background.
I think it's funny on Fark.com. They have like a Florida tag for their stories. If a lot of people go to Fark.com, they have funny headlines. Like you submit stories to the site with a funny headline.
Go Florida. Go to Florida on vacation. Leave there on probation.
Yeah, funnier than that probably, but yeah, you got the idea.
Yeah.
So but they do that, and Florida has its own tag, usually crazy, weird, just stories that could probably only happen in Florida. I don't want to go to Florida ever.
I don't ever want to go there with you, ever.
I really don't see any reason to go to Florida. I'm not a big fan of like beaches and
Gators.
water and
Swamps.
although Miami seems like a cool place to go because I am a fan of the ladies. Although I probably wouldn't survive in Miami very much with the ladies.
Nah.
I'm not ripped and tanned.
You have no money.
I don't have any money. Shut up, Bike.
I don't have any money either. You don't see me in Miami. I just know better.
You got some things coming up that could get you into the situation of.
I don't want to go to Miami.
Playa? I'm a player. You couldn't do what you were doing in Miami.
Hell no.
That's another reason why I don't want to leave here. Mm-hmm. Mike, give me a job. I got to get badged eventually here some point in time. All right, show's winding down. We got a few minutes here left.
Less than a few.
Like 2 minutes to be
couple.
exact.
Yeah.
2 minutes, exactly.
Rest of your day, what does it look like?
What does the rest of my day look like? I don't know. I got to line up stuff, man. I got to get things figured out, what I'm going to be doing.
Are you going to take my entry sheets for the Rooster Cup, or am I just leaving them here?
Just leave them here for now.
I don't actually
I'll take them
have
with
them
me.
here. Melanie's bringing them.
All right. Well, yeah, just leave them here. I'm sure that I think he messaged me during the show over here. Said, how's the judging going? I'll message him and tell him we got that stuff done. Did you finish yours?
Yep.
Chad?
Oh yeah.
I didn't even see you judging.
I've got like little bits of some of them left, but yeah.
You judged all of them?
Yep.
Damn.
Good times.
I didn't know. You saw my storybook write-up of all my
Yeah, mine's pretty
stuff,
much
and you were like
about the opposite of that, yeah.
That's why you were like, I'm not going to let him see it.
Mine's like, dislike, number, okay, equals. Yeah.
This got me high.
Yeah.
I am high. All right. Tomorrow, Alex from Element 420 will be on. And his hash maker.
Sweet.
And it'll be awesome times. We'll talk about hash for Wednesday.
Those guys are
all right?
cool.
And then Friday, Mason DeVert will be on from Safer and the Communications Director of MPP. And then next week, Kay Sass and a few other people. I got to make sure that I write all these people down. Make sure that I write all this stuff down, Chad.
All right. Yeah, I got that up
so
here.
that I don't forget anybody. Because then somebody will email me and they'll be like, I thought I was supposed to be on your show today. And I'll be like, oh, we didn't have a guest. That's why. All right. Have a great... What?
Yep. Just saying that same thing you were saying.
Cool. Chad.
See you guys tomorrow.
I am John Doe. Until we meet again tomorrow, have a fantastic day. It's a beautiful day in Colorado, it feels like. I hate this mouse. I click on things and it boosts it up. Until we meet again, see you.
The John Doe Radio Show is produced by Charlie Sash Entertainment. The John Doe Radio Show is not limited to information, agriculture subjects, and is informational and entertainment purposes only. We specifically include responsible marijuana reform.
Listening to anyone but your mother is like stupid.
We accept no responsibility for your actions or misrepresentations, and we do not fully endorse the use of illegal drugs. You are ultimately responsible for yourself.
Live.